Breakaway, showtime, he scores!
Well, I'm playing hockey for one reason, it's winning the Stanley Cup. There's nothing else.
You know, every kid, I think, dreams about that, and, you know, like I said, it's something that you grow up with, and you want the Stanley Cup, and just to see your name on it, I mean, that'd be a dream come true.
You know, that thought of winning, and, you know, with this team that I was here in '95 and now back in 2000, just be unbelievable.
One-timer all the way, score! Sergei Freeland! What an incredible shot. Madden is alone for a moment. Shot, score! Unbelievable! Let the celebration begin in the Danical household. It must be a link here. Jason Arnott! An unbelievable shot! McGillney scores! Alexander McGillney! Dallas firing every moment. Shot! What a save! On backhand from the door! Score! The New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup! Jason Arnott with the game-winning overtime goal!
To win the Stanley Cup, you need to have heart. This team has championship heart. Scott Stevens, I'm proud to present you with the Stanley Cup.
The crowd will count down the final 10 seconds.
Because now they've won the biggest prize of them all. The championship to New Jersey. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
And the oldest trophy has made its way to the Lincoln Tunnel, to the Meadowlands, to the Garden State. This place is Bedlam.
On June 24th, 1995, the New Jersey Devils stood on top of the hockey world. They were Stanley Cup champions. And with their blend of youth, skill, and aggression, there was no reason to think repeat performances were out of the question. But future seasons would hold no such celebrations.
Yashin bringing it on, has a man up the wing. It's Picard and a shrug shoulder save. Another shot, they score! Tom Jaworski has gotten his second of the game, and it may very well be the one that buries the hopes of his former team, the New Jersey Devils.
First of all, I think it started not making the playoffs that one year.
Memory of last year does not get erased, but this year sure gets wrecked.
Not even be able to defend our title was a shock for everybody. Everybody took it really hard.
The following years, the Devils fared no better, losing to their hated crosstown rivals, then suffering a first-round setback at the hands of the Ottawa Senators.
New Jersey Devils are done for the season, 24 points ahead of the Ottawa Senators during the course of this year. But as you know, the number one seed for the third time has been ousted, so they'll pack that away for the season.
It's very disappointing because you feel like you can do more, and you feel that the team's capable of competing for the Stanley Cup. When you lose in the first round, it's pretty disappointing.
In 1999, it was the Pittsburgh Penguins who provided the Devils with yet another dose of heartache.
A 105-point season spoiled again.
You know, all the first place finishes in the Eastern Conference and everything, with all due respect, meant not a whole lot.
And the fans are headed for the exits. Wow.
It's heartbreaking knowing that you've worked so hard to get there and you're one of the best teams and you lose.
You know, we wanted to do well and we had the team to do it. We broke all kinds of records during regular season, and every time we came in the playoffs, we just couldn't do it.
Entering the 1999-2000 season, New Jersey had much to prove. They still boasted a tough, talented core of veterans, but an injection of new blood was definitely in order.
It was a surprise for everybody, I think, when we started in training camp. You know, Brian Rafalski, nobody knew who he was. You know, the guy comes in out of Finland. You know, he comes in and he looks really good in training camp, but you see when the season started how he's going to do it.
Nemchinov, nice pass to Rafalski. He's in, score! Sikora put it around behind. Quick shot by Holy. Rafalski, score!
You know, with his ability of passing the puck and skating, and you know, still be able to play physical for a guy that's not that tall, but you know, he's a pretty heavy guy, and he plays the game hard.
Brian Rafalski continues to play just great hockey.
In the slot, Rafalski, chance was score!
Madden, we knew that it was a matter of time for him. You know, he's been in the in the system for a little bit, and it was time for him to come up.
Taken away by Madden. Madden moves ahead. He's got a man with him. It's Peterson. Madden in all alone. Score! His shot knocked down. John Madden will get a chance. Moving right into the breakaway. Look, shoot, score!
It is uncanny how often shorthanded John Madden finds open ice.
But if John Madden and Brian Rafalski subtly improved the Devils' attack, another rookie exploded onto the scene.
Okay, here's a chance in front, and Richter can't stop it. Gomez has the hat trick.
Yeah, well, Gomer's, one of those kids you love to have on your team. He comes to the rink, always has fun. We didn't realize how skilled he was, I don't think, until he came to camp, and we said, wow, we really have a gem in this kid.
You're a rookie, come out of nowhere to make the National Hockey League. You're not supposed to make moves like this kid just did right here.
Scott Gomez didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but close to it. Hailing from Alaska, he took the league by storm from Game 1.
Great story. Scott Gomez, born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. He's captured the imagination of everybody.
Scott's heart has been with the Devils ever since he lived out the 1995 Stanley Cup through a hometown hero.
Mike Peluso was on the team, and he was a big-time college star back in Anchorage. So, I mean, the whole town was just kind of cup crazy, as they say. We watched every game, and just seeing, Mike cry on the bench and stuff like that, it's like we were winning it too. And, just when the Devils won it, it was a great thrill.
Now Scott has assumed the hero's role, and when the locals gather in downtown Anchorage, they're pulling for one of their own.
It's great. He's our hometown boy, Everybody hopes for the best for him. We'd like to see him win a Stanley Cup and bring it home.
Such hopes would seem outlandish for most NHL rookies, but Scott's been living out a dream this entire season.
From the New Jersey Devils, number 23, Scott Gomez.
This year's just been unbelievable. Being at the All-Star game in Toronto for the 50th, sitting next to a Messier, having a conversation with Ray Borg, meeting Wayne Gretzky before I go on the ice. Just everything that's happened. I don't know if, like I said, there could be a better script. It's been a wild ride, and hopefully it continues.
By mid-February, the Devils' new mix had taken them to the game's best record. But all of a sudden, inexplicably, the ride ended.
Score! Joseph Baranek! Scott Stevens around behind, gave it up in front, fed across, score! Connolly!
You got your horror stories, and then you got your horror films, and this was a feature-length movie.
Well, we definitely, last month and a half of the season, things were definitely going downhill.
You don't know at times how to stop the roll. I mean, we were very disappointed in the way things are going.
Earlier in the year, New Jersey had reacquired playoff hero Claude Lemieux. Now, slumping badly entering the stretch run, they made more drastic changes.
We made a couple of trades while we were in this downswing, and that didn't help.
And next thing you know, we're still not playing well.
I think this crowd here in New Jersey is in some disbelief.
Yes, we were in first place, but we weren't winning, and I really didn't see us coming out of it.
With 8 games remaining, desperate times called for a desperate measure.
The New Jersey Devils, still leading the entire Eastern Conference of the NHL, today fired second-year coach Robbie Ftorek, replacing him with assistant Larry Robinson. Ftorek's sin? Well, the Devils have lost 10 of the last 16, and GM Lou Lamoriello feared a 4th straight playoff flop.
When the coaching change happened, I think it forced everybody to really kind of check and see how they were playing and what they were doing and what they weren't doing.
I think everybody looked back and said, you know what, they're doing everything for us to be successful, so it's time for us to stop having excuses and really look within, the dressing room for the changes that we needed to make on the ice.
Historically, it hasn't worked all that well when coaches are fired late in the season that the new guy comes in and works wonders.
This is a total change in personality between Robbie Ftorek, who was strong-willed and strong-minded, kept a lot inside. Larry Robinson is the complete opposite. He's affable, he's friendly, he smiles a lot, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react on the ice.
Larry came in and just changed us around.
He put the fun back in the game and just told us, go out there and play with your hearts. And he didn't care about the last 8 games of the year. He said this is about building toward the playoffs, about winning in the playoffs.
But before the playoffs began, they faced an important season finale against the Florida Panthers.
We knew that there was a really good chance we were going to play these guys in the playoffs, right from the get-go. We needed a boost.
Both teams battled into overtime where the Devils' fortunes took a turn.
Off by Scott Stevens, laid on to Arnott, moves in and fires.
It was huge. It was a big turning point. You could feel when we scored the overtime goal and we were celebrating. It was like the greatest goal in the world, and it was a big lift for us.
And the Devils needed every bit of that confidence to take on those same Panthers in the opening round.
I think everybody was really excited and geared up for that first round. With what had happened the previous years with the losses in the first round, it was definitely a big hurdle, a big goal of everyone's to go into that first round and play our best hockey.
We knew in our locker room that this is a must-win series, and so we took nothing for granted going in.
To win, the Devils' defensemen needed to be at their best because spearheading the Panthers' attack was the league's leading goal scorer, Pavel Bure.
There is no player that is more explosive in the National Hockey League, for that matter in the entire world, than Pavel Bure.
But as the series got underway, the Devils' defense took control at both ends of the rink.
Pavel Bure, slam to the board.
Scott Stevens, a bullet from the point. 2-man shorthanded, 6 shorthanded goals. Rebound, Scott Niedermayer scores. And that goal comes on a 5-on-3 for Florida.
Scott Stevens ahead, he's got Madden with it. Madden back to Stevens in front. Score!
After convincing wins at home, it was clear the Devils had found their game.
This was a big step in the right direction of overcoming the psychological barrier that they faced in past playoffs, and they head down south to Florida with a commanding 2-game lead.
The Florida fans were hoping Bure could ignite at home, but Scott Stevens was determined to keep the Russian rocket grounded.
Scott Stevens has Pavel Bure in his sights. He locks on, gets tone, and finishes the job.
Scotty had a look about him this year going to the playoffs. I mean, he had a glare in his eye that we're not going to settle for second best. We're not going to lose in the first round this year.
Following their captain's lead, New Jersey shut the door on the Panthers.
Hit for Elias, he scores! What a setup! Jason Arnott to Patrick Elias. Now the Panthers get to it again. Wrapper on a tip by Hennigan and stop. What a stop by Brodeur! And another chance was stopped. Facing a 2-on-1. Elias slides it across. They score!
That was a huge risk by Lou Lamoriello to make a coaching change with 8 games remaining. They struggled down the stretch, but they came into the playoffs and together as a team to sweep this series.
A lot of people that have said since the Devils won the Stanley Cup have expected them to get back to that level and thought, they're just not a team that can put teams away. I think they've shown that they can do that.
We gained our confidence. They went from the last game of the season right into the playoffs, and we were dominant, and that made a big difference. Just be able to wipe these guys out of the map real quick.
In the second round, New Jersey faced a tougher test in the Toronto Maple Leafs, who featured a lethal offense and one of the best goaltenders in the world. Game 1 belonged to Toronto and Curtis Joseph.
Curtis Joseph. Rebound. Joseph is shining again.
Thanks to rookie Colin White, the Devils rebounded to steal home ice advantage in Game 2. And back home in New Jersey, they tried to take control of the series.
Gomez score! From the slot, off the faceoff, it's 2-0 New Jersey. Pass ahead to Elias, intercepted, steps by a man. Elias around in front. Oh, and then he turns and scores!
But the Leafs would not go quietly, tying the series on Thomas Kaberle's late third-period goal in Game 4.
We just let our focus slip for a bit and just got a little too relaxed, and before you know it, they were right back in the series, and there's no question that hurt and that was frustrating.
The first series we never really had to win a game, a big game. It was 4 games straight. Now we really, found ourselves in a jam a little bit. We had to go in a building that it's pretty tough to win.
We are ready for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Devils and Maple Leafs from a jam-packed Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Elias dips the shoulder. Around in front. He scores! What a goal!
The two teams traded goals early. Then one man imposed his will on the game and the series.
Heavy hit by Stevens, and down goes Kaberle. His stick is broken. Thomas tries to step by, and Stevens steps in his way. Boy, what a great effort by Stevens. John trying to advance that quick
Well, I think Scotty really turned the Toronto series around. I think when he started to really throw his weight around and hit guys in the middle of the ice, I think he really set a tone, and you looked at that team was different after what he did. The hits that he made was a big turning point for us.
With momentum clearly in New Jersey's corner, the Devils took to the attack.
Moves it on up the wing, it's Gomez. Nice little pass, Malakovic, and he scores! A power play goal, it's 3-2.
Sweet pass by Gomez to Malakoff.
Madden cruising in, Flyers score! John Madden, and it's 4-2.
Though Stevens hadn't scored a goal, his fingerprints were all over the crucial Game 5 win.
Scotty has been a force and certainly gives our team a huge lift when he steps up and delivers body checks like that.
It was something he'd been doing all season.
There aren't many players that have ever escaped the impact of Scott Stevens' body if they've played for any length of time in the NHL. Sooner or later, he is going to get a bone-crushing hit in on him.
He's like a great white shark, coming through the middle.
Great train hit by Stevens.
We had some goosebumps going on. Wow, you cringe a little bit when you see him make some of those hits.
It gives the team some confidence and the emotional lift, I think, when that happens. People feed off it, and they want to go out there and play physical, and I think, obviously, physical play is very important in the playoffs.
Stevens' ability to deliver bone-crushing hits in key situations dates back to the '95 finals when he devastated the Detroit Red Wings.
Scott Stevens comes across, and the body check of the playoffs. If you don't believe me, ask Kozlov.
He was one of their key players, and they're a finesse team and a talented, fast team, so by getting a big hit, you might open some eyes on the other team and hopefully maybe slow them down a little bit.
Scott Stevens, those eyes. He's got the fire, it still burns brightly, competitively.
And in Game 6, Stevens continued to terrorize Toronto.
There was big number 4, bang.
Following Stevens' lead, New Jersey again shackled the Leafs' vaunted offense and finished off the series.
Centering pass, scores! Sakura to Lernet! Another early goal, and it's 2-0. I can't remember a team being smothered as badly as Toronto has been tonight by a terrific defensive performance by New Jersey.
Game 6 was just domination by the whole team, allowing only 6 shots on net. And, it gave us a lot of confidence being able to win a big game.
New Jersey had survived its first 2 tests and made it back to the conference finals for the first time since 1995. But a greater adversary lay before them. The Philadelphia Flyers had edged out the Devils for the top spot in the Eastern Conference on the final day of the regular season. The Flyers had endured a decade's worth of adversity in one season, and facing the Devils, they looked to overcome one more obstacle on their improbable playoff march.
Welcome, everybody. Philadelphia is the city. Games 1 and 2 will be played here in the Eastern Conference Final. The third time in the history of these two franchises that they have met up in playoff action.
The matchup of the top 2 teams in the East had finally materialized and started off with a bang.
Score! Niedermeyer, roof shot! 55 seconds into the period. ahead.
Right away, the Devils' speed advantage was apparent, and they even got a boost when Bobby Holik scored his first playoff goal in 3 years.
Shot score! He finally got one!
New Jersey continued to suffocate and frustrate the Flyers into Game 2, and again built a 3-1 lead.
We came back into the middle. Score! Oh my! 1,000-mile-an-hour laser! Devils dominating right now. Boys against men.
After 5 periods of play against Philadelphia, I think we thought it might be easy.
It took just an instant for the Devils to learn it wouldn't be.
Dogged looking. Desjardins scores! Eric Desjardins! This is a biggie right here. In the center by Primo. Score! Primo got it out in front. Tuckett's got his second goal, and this game's tied. The house is a rocket now. Slanko save. Tuckett score!
It is a funny thing. I mean, you have the momentum 1 minute and a quick goal, maybe at the wrong time, and all of a sudden they get a couple more in the beginning of the third, and you're down, and it's a whole new look on the series.
We got a series, and Larry Robinson knows it. This series is now shaping up to be a terrific dogfight.
Or so it seemed. However, the Flyers came into New Jersey riding a tidal wave of momentum that threatened to wash away the Devils' Stanley Cup dream.
We were playing so well and so dominant. Things had gone our way. We hadn't dealt with any adversity. All of a sudden, Philadelphia gained momentum, and we weren't able to get it back.
What a turnaround. Bad sign for the Devils, too, when you've got players shaking their heads.
It was tough to take. Those 3 games, we just went into a shell. It was like, I don't know, I can't really explain it.
When the water receded, the Devils found themselves in a 3-1 hole, the likes of which no conference finalist had ever climbed out of.
And who would have guessed when this series began that the Devils would be down 3-1?
Following Game 4, an irate Robinson let his team know exactly what he thought of their play.
No, I mean, the coach goes crazy. You know, he took it really personally because he felt that we weren't doing what he was asked for us to do, and for us to see him, you know, that emotional about what we weren't doing, kind of really hurt us.
For some rhyme or reason, they feel that they know more than the coaches do and tried to play their game, and we paid for it. And until they get it through their thick skulls that our way is the right way, then we are going to struggle, and we aren't going to have success. And that's the way it is. If the game was that easy, they wouldn't need coaches. We just need players.
Robinson's tirade shook his team to the core, but the question remained, how would the Devils respond in Game 5?
That speech, I think, lifted us. A lot of people might have thought that was the wrong time for that, but it was definitely the right time. And you could see the next day after we lost that 3rd game in a row, the guys were spirited. After that speech, Larry picked us up.
He just challenged us to go out there and try and play our best and just let things happen as they might.
When Game 5 began, the Devils asserted themselves right away.
Rebound comes out in front. Boucher down. They score. Bobby Holik and the big center iceman have struck for New Jersey in this first period.
We didn't worry about the win. We just worry about playing our best hockey. That's how we play. That's why probably dominated in Philly, in that tough building to play. We play one of the best games this organization has ever played.
And when Elias sealed the game with an early 3rd period goal, the Devils had firmly re-established themselves in the series.
New Jersey was looking for a crack in the armor of the Philadelphia Flyers. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we can go back home, win a game versus 7th game, and anything can happen in 7th games in the playoffs. So they have some life.
But first they had to get through Game 6 and the unexpected return of superstar Eric Lindros. The Devils came out charged, and it appeared Lindros and the Flyers would be chasing them all night. But Philadelphia goalie Brian Boucher answered the challenge, and the 2 teams headed to the 3rd period scoreless.
It was a big game, and I knew that if we had gotten that far and brought ourselves into a Game 7, that we could beat the Flyers.
The Devils' ticket to Game 7 was punched in the third period when first Lemieux jumped on a loose puck. And when Alexander McGillney scored minutes later, the Devils were one game closer to completing an astounding comeback.
The Devils have won the last 2 games. Game 7 in Philadelphia.
Come on, Rico, come on, Biggie, come on, Johnny.
As Game 7 began, the Devils first silenced the Vocal Flyers.
In front, they score! Patrick Elliott, and the Devils strike first.
And then shocked them.
Here's 88, Lindros makes the move. Lindros is belted by Stevens, and he is down immediately. A thundering hit.
This building's in shock.
But the resilient Flyers evened the score at 1, and now the entire series would come down to 1 goal.
You could just see the tension on both teams. You know, who's going to get the final goal, and is this game going to go in overtime?
We have like 4 minutes to go, or not even, I think 2 minutes to go, and to clinch, to clinch a conference. With the attitude that we had in the past years, who knows?
This year, however, the Devils' attitude and weapons were considerably different. And with just 2.5 minutes to go, their heroic effort was rewarded.
Out in front, Arnott's right at one-timer. Elliott scores! Patrick Elliott, side of the goal, banks it in, and it's 2-1 New Jersey.
A stunned Philadelphia crowd had just witnessed the completion of the greatest comeback in conference finals history.
The organization's never really come back in adverse conditions like that. And to come back from 3-1 and see the guys the way they all worked and stuck together and pulled together, and that's the only way you can win. It was really gratifying, and we had a couple days to enjoy that, and then realize that, hey, we're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's try and not stop now.
This was about a team that had to be pointed in the right direction. I think it was a team that, when they were on their game and when they played the way that they're capable of, played well. And so it just needed a little fine-tuning, that's all.
Entering the finals, the Devils had a unit that they could count on for goals, something sorely lacking in playoffs past. They are known simply as the Arnott line.
Well, it's official. The Devils have an offensive weapon in these playoffs. That weapon's name is Arnott, Sikora, and Eliash.
Their genesis is a product of the global NHL. Sikora and Eliash, 2 skilled wingers, were drafted out of the Czech Republic. Arnott, the big North American center, was acquired via trade in January of '98. He had suffocated from the pressure of underachieving in Edmonton and spent half a season in New Jersey trying to regain his scoring touch. But the following season, he was flanked by the 2 Czechs, and collectively, they caught fire.
I'm just glad to be a part of it. I came over, and they really helped my career out. The chemistry needs to be there, and with us, we just have a lot of fun with it.
Together, they've been having fun at the expense of NHL goaltenders for 2 seasons now.
Eliash for Arnott, scores! What a play!
Well, the big lines had some night, haven't they?
The very important thing is that we are really close friends too. We're not afraid to tell other guy if the guy is not going well. You say, hey, you can play better, and Arne can tell me if he doesn't see me playing well.
Sikora's uncanny on-ice chemistry with Eliash has often produced spectacular results.
Eliash crossing, leads for Sikora, moving along to Eliash, score! What a play! Overtime victory for the Devils!
A lot of it is just being able to read off of each other and knowing what the other guy's thinking.
They've been a lot of fun to watch and to play with the last couple of years.
Midway through the season, Eliash went on a blinding streak of 20 goals in 21 games, putting him within reach of a Devils scoring total that hasn't been touched since 1994.
Left behind Fenside of the net, score! Eliash!
Woo-hoo, number 30 for Patrick Eliash, a milestone. His buddy Peter Sikora dug it out of the net as soon as he could.
When I got closer, I really wanted to accomplish that, and it looked easier than it was probably. I've been working hard, and when you play good as a line and you play on a good team like we have here, then it's much easier.
This trio has made it look easy in the playoffs as well.
Arnott around behind, looks over the traffic, and first one that tipped it right, score! What a play! Arnott to Eliash to Sikora!
It's just developed over time, and and right now they're really carrying a lot of the load for us.
You can't buy chemistry. I mean, if you had $1 million you would pay for it this time of year. That line has it.
But in the finals, they'd be facing the defending champs and the most aggressive defenseman in the game. The Hunters would now be the hunted.
Every hockey player should be up for any challenge, and this is great to be playing against the best defenseman.
It's getting tougher and tougher, so we have to get better and better.
We've been up there the last few years, and this year we want to go improve it.
5 years after the Devils won their first cup, their quest for a second was just 4 wins away.
Let's go Devils!
After the Philly series, they got all the confidence in the world. They believe they can do anything, and you know what? They can.
Devil Dan says, NJ in 6.
Devils! Game 1, Devils, Dallas!
Let's go Devils! 28 teams to start. We're down to 2. Dallas and New Jersey.
Modano and Hall are the key. If you can shut these guys down, your chances of winning have really increased enormously.
Roder ready. The Ruffers ready. Are you ready?
Good luck here. Don't flop for me, please. Go, 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 go!
Manson around, fire side, Sim. Oh! Sim got leveled by Malakoff. The Devils have beat the Dallas Stars to the punch and trying to establish physical superiority.
Wingers, do a job here!
Jersey showing signs of going for the first goal. Elias kicked it away behind the net. Sikora's in front. Backhander belt for Sikora. Score! Johnson on it!
So the big line for the New Jersey Devils scores the first goal of the finals.
The Devils are really going after Dallas early in this first game.
2 miles, come on, Green!
Keane dropped it off, looking out in front. Yuri Letton. Sador moves in. Sador shot. Score! Right through a screen! And the game is tied just like that.
Come on, guys! Yay!
The score tied at 1. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the second period. This up comes to Danico. Shot! Let the celebration begin in the Danico household. Kenny Danico 2-1 Devils.
Can he become a scorer this year?
Dallas quickly looked for the equalizer.
Modano, Letton, and Hull. Modano's got Hull in a trailer. What a save! What a save! Grand theft.
Good skate there, boys. We gotta love that puck.
Devils bring it back in. Sikora. And he couldn't get the shot. Center it. What a play. What a play. Dallas trying to hang on here. This Devils team has it all going tonight.
Take it, Scotty!
Even some room shot. Score! 4-1.
Stanley watching right by us.
Dropped into the middle, a little room. Back in the rim and score! Sergei Brilliant!
Let's get another one!
Sikora gets a shot.
And the New Jersey Devils have got the Dallas Stars down and by the throat.
A bit of a power play, waiting for the perfect setup. They might get it. Jason again! This is absolutely amazing. A complete collapse by the Dallas Stars and a killer instinct, dominant kind of game by Larry Robinson's Devils.
I don't think we've played against a group of forwards this quick before. We've had a couple of performances from our team like this, and we've always bounced back.
2 nights later, the hockey world would see if the defending champions still had the heart of a champion.
What kind of a game will we see tonight? That is the question posed as we are underway in Game 2.
And the very first shot of the game set the tone for this battle.
Here we go!
Cora standing on the boards, comes back for it. Lost it, Hull's quick shot, he scores! Brett Hull, he has made a living off that wrist shot. That was another laser. Dallas drawing first blood in this second game.
Boys, let's get skating here! Let's get skating here!
Lemieux steps up and holds it in all alone in front of Nova. Malik and Belfort was in front of it. And the Devils putting the heat on him. Got away from last shot. Not complete. It's in the middle. He scored. A wicked fast break by McGillney and a high shot, 1-1. Well, we've got ourselves a game. Score remains tied at 1. But they're going hard, these two teams. All the way in. Muller hit the post. Kurt Muller. And knocked down trying to get it to him. Roll to McKay. Save Belfort.
After being embarrassed and replaced in the opener, the Stars' fallen eagle had risen from the ashes of Game 1.
Eddie Belfour is back. Well, the Dallas Stars have definitely been more energetic tonight. Lemieux in the middle, shot, Belfour, kick, save. Lemieux held on to it forever. And there's Eddie Belfour back in front. Lemieux, save.
Give him a heart attack, Eddie.
Off the face-off to the right of Belfour, save of McKay.
We're going to get one here. We're going to get one.
In the tight game, this is where if you're going to shorten your bench, you'll do it with 4:46 remaining.
But the next goal may just be the biggest goal for one of these teams in their season.
Dallas on the attack. Levedonov coming in. Trying to give the left net.
Stars! It is 2-1 Stars. Brett Hull may have been the last to touch it.
A hugie for the Dallas Stars, true to form as they have done all season long. After an embarrassment, they come back and play like champs.
I don't think it's time to panic or anything like that, but we certainly know we didn't play very, very well, and we have to play a lot better.
We're in for a pair of good ones in Dallas.
And the Dallas Stars would return to a frenzied reception.
Belfour's the best. He's number one, and that's why the Stars repeat.
This crowd is unbelievable. The best road record by New Jersey. Dallas best home. Look out, it's going to be a dandy.
Both coaches are convinced tonight's the night. They believe the third game swings a series.
And both teams were ready.
Here goes Madonna on the trailer. Shot, save, made. And shot, Belfour, the save.
Gilney, and he is still. Go, Holly, come on.
He dropped it home. And a save made.
Elias getting there and stopped by Belfour. Name of the heart.
What a shot by Hatcher.
This is some kind of start.
These battle-tested teams had an answer for every opposition chance. But when Dallas got just their second-man advantage of the series, the Stars showed how lethal their power play can be.
He's got that great wrist shot. They try and set him up on the opposite side. Brodeur the same. Rebound. Conte. Score! Celebrate! Conte! Power play goal!
The Stars had their hometown fans rocking in just 48 seconds after Cote's goal. Opportunity knocked again.
Dallas is going back on the power play.
The power play that is officially red hot right now.
Come on, we need more.
The Devils were able to hold off Dallas for the first minute of the power play, but then they found themselves in an even bigger hole.
And a penalty coming in the corner. And this is going to be on the Devils.
Now the Dallas Stars get a chance to make more magic. Zubov in there on a save.
Come on, Zuby.
Zubov, that one blocked to Malakoff off Madden's stick. Tries to clear, does.
The Devils dug themselves out of that gigantic hole by killing off the 5-on-3, and moments later, they grabbed the momentum.
Jason Arnott, he gets it, he scores! Jason Arnott has tied the game, what an effort! How big does that 5-on-3 penalty kill look now?
Huge! Oh, absolutely huge!
And when the second period began, the Devils continued to attack Belfour.
It's a blast, save made again. Rebound, man! What a save! New Jersey has the ice tilted towards Eddie Belfour.
Win the points. We're going to get one. We're moving it well.
Jason Arnott to Zakora. One-timer on the way, score! Off the glove of Belfour and in! 2-1 Devils.
Their top line had given them the lead on the road, something that the defense and Martin Brodeur would not relinquish.
Devils, when they get a lead, and can put on one hellacious defensive effort.
New Jersey stymied the Stars and took back home ice advantage.
It is over! The New Jersey Devils have won it 2-1, and they take a 2-1 edge.
Well, when we came to the building, we were looking for a split, but I think it's time to get greedy.
Welcome to Reunion Arena in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, every defending champion comes to a crossroad in their quest to repeat. And tonight, the Dallas Stars have reached that crossroad. A win tonight, and they're all even in the series with the New Jersey Devils. A loss, and they'll trail 3-1. And no team has rebounded from that deficit in the Stanley Cup Finals in 58 years.
Ken Hitchcock says we will play this like it is a Game 7.
Apparently, the Stars took their coach's plea to heart.
And Dallas, the Jets are on in this one.
Their hard work and spirited play led to early chances.
Shot, save made! Shot, save made again!
Meanwhile, at the other end, Belfour was on his game.
Center, Martin, shot! Belfour and Elliott sitting there, and he'll cover!
Oh my God! Ed Belfour looks like he is in the zone.
The game remained scoreless until late in the second period when Malakoff went off for cross-checking. On the ensuing power play, the Stars peppered Brodeur and at last grabbed the lead.
In front, a shot! They score! Nolendijk! They needed him to awaken, and it appears as if he has.
It was Dallas's fourth power play of the game, and finally, they burned the Devils.
And we have completed the second period. The Dallas Stars, looking to even the series, have the 1-0 lead.
As the Devils headed out for the third period, they knew they needed to make a statement, and it didn't take them long.
Hey, we're outplaying them. Come on, here.
The comeback began when a trio of Russians came bearing down on Belfour.
Malakoff got his man down. Center, shot, McGillney save, score! Alexander McGillney the shot, Breland the rebound, and a 1-1 game.
But when Colin White took a penalty less than a minute later, Dallas thought they'd have the advantage. Instead, John Madden went to work.
Madden short-handed with Pandolfo. Madden ripped it and missed it on the wide side. What is it with John Madden? Short-handed, the puck, he finds it, he gets chances all the time, every game.
And a second chance was not far away.
Look at this, Madden. Madden is alone for a moment. Shot, score! Unbelievable! Huh. Just put him out. Short-handed, you'll get a chance. A short-handed goal, and the Devils lead it 2-1.
It was mayhem in my head. I was trying to keep myself composed and not actually, jump over the glass or anything like that.
And if the rest of the Devils had trouble staying composed, you wouldn't know it. Moments later, another rookie capitalized on a turnover.
Hook out to center, picked up by Rafalski. Cross the line, down the left side, gets around Zubov and shoots. He scores! The New Jersey Devils have scored 3 in a row. Wow, what a turnaround. And the Dallas Stars and their fans are in shock.
The Stars never recovered as New Jersey continued to pour it on, dominating the entire third period. And when the horn sounded, the Devils were one win from completing their Stanley Cup odyssey.
Well, for 2 periods, Dallas played the best game they've played in this series. But the third period was all Devils.
They got a great team. I'm not taking anything away from them, but we got our heart ripped out from us a little bit today.
Away, boys. Away, boys.
Welcome back to Continental Airlines Arena for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals as the New Jersey Devils look to clinch the Stanley Cup in front of 19,040 faithful.
The cup is ours! The cup is ours! Stanley Cup! The cup comes home tonight!
Well, I said back before the series started there'll be Devils in 5.
The Devils have come back to New Jersey having done the unthinkable, sweeping 2 straight in Dallas to take a 3-1 lead. But in any title run, the final win is always the toughest.
5 years ago, New Jersey had celebrated its greatest victory. Now, the Devils faithful expected nothing less than a triumphant return to glory. And the start of Game 5 went according to plan.
Shot, save Belfour.
Right back in.
Intercepted on the break in. Patrick Elliott, Zubov on him, save made. And he goes sliding into the net.
Eddie Belfour's making it look easy.
Despite their first period surge, Belfour had kept the Devils at bay. And the second period turned into a seesaw affair.
Center, Thornton in front, shot, save, rebound. Another save. Conte. Martin Brodeur.
How did he stop it?
Charging up ice, trying to get that elusive first goal. Zador again, shot wide. Dallas firing every moment. Shot. What a save! What a save! What a save by Martin Brodeur!
Oh, Gary Linden can only exhale and go, I cannot believe he stopped me. It's the best game of the series so far.
Yeah.
Because of the goaltending, because of the quality of the scoring chances.
Here's a chance and close. Oh, save! What a save by Belfour! Sure goal. That's what that was. Oh my goodness, the goaltending.
The battle raged on.
Center, Elias, the move, the backhander, into the pads, rebound, shot, never got into the net. Looking in, shot, Belfour, the save.
If Eddie Belfour holds, all Dallas needs is one good shot and they can force a game 6.
Newendijk cutting, block, Newendijk, wrap around, right there with a stick and pad, Martin Brodeur. There's Muller, former Devil, trying to center in front, shot, Brad Marshall denied.
And this movie isn't going quite the way Melanie Brodeur wanted just yet.
It'll be a sudden finish. What we don't know is when.
There are no secrets. There's nothing left that these teams don't know about one another. It now becomes a wonderfully pure who wants it, who gets it. Oleg down the wall. Oleg in front. Oleg rolled and they have the Elias with speed. Elias for the cut. Bill for the side. Rebound wide. Two chances. Stevens shot. The ball deflected wide. Enter it. Gomez center three. Save Eddie Belfour.
This amazing stuff.
We have completed 3 periods and an overtime. There is still no goal on the board.
As this epic struggle continued into a second overtime, both teams stayed positive.
Here goes the better off for y'all, boys. Quick shot, boys. Quick shot.
But the goaltenders had an answer for every challenge.
Chances just keep coming.
We gotta get after it, boys. Gotta get after it.
Danica's got a man up ice. Here comes McGinley. McGinley shot. Save again. Eddie Belfour, McGinley on a breakaway.
Keep building here.
Dished off shot. Brodeur save rebound.
Another huge save. Keeps it scoreless. Wow.
Players are exhausted. The crowd is exhausted. They are emotionally drained.
The game's breakneck pace had taken its toll, but the question remained, who could rise above the fatigue and frustration in this, the 6th period of hockey?
Well, it is one for the ages, and they continue on. And in fact, it may be ages before we get this done. It is 0-0 as we get set for the 3rd OT.
Dallas Stars have gotten stronger as these overtime periods have clicked on by.
White lined up by a catcher and hard.
Go, go, go.
Flips a short pass ahead to Lettman at center. Right wing to Hull at the line. Hull in front. They score! Madonna! We're going 6, baby! We're going 6! 6 minutes and 21 seconds into the 3rd overtime. Michael Madonna ends the game, and the Dallas Stars are back in the series.
The New Jersey Devils are stunned. The Dallas Stars are elated. This was not supposed to happen if you were a New Jersey Devil. And there will be another game, and there still is life.
If the Devils were to avoid a Game 7, they would now have to win the Cup on the reigning champions' home ice, a feat not accomplished in the last 24 years.
Game 6 is all about the Stars, baby. Devils going back to New Jersey. 2-2 in 2000.
The Devils are trying to win the Stanley Cup here tonight. It's out of the case, all shined up and ready to go. The Dallas Stars are saying, not tonight in this town.
Prior to the finals, the Devils and Stars hardly knew each other, but after 5 physical games, they had become brutal rivals.
Zador down on the ice, still trying to get up.
What an effort by Zador, trying to drag his carcass to the front of the net so that he might be able to block a shot, even if he's dead.
Now, this game is not about traps and defenses right now. It's about courage, passion, and bravery. If you haven't got bravery, you stay in the bench.
Newendijk got upended on the face-off.
on now here in Dallas.
Hit him.
You don't believe this is hockey war? Believe me, it's war.
The Dallas captain took it to the extreme.
Hatcher just ran over him.
There is bad blood now between these two teams. This is the 6th game for the Stanley Cup.
The bad blood was evenly distributed. Each team had lost one player, and neither had scored a goal.
This is the 6th game in a row of this series that the score has been tied after the first period.
Then the Devils took advantage of a Dallas power play.
Lemieux protecting the man, got it out of there. Centering pass, got it 2-on-1. Niedermayer's in front. Niedermayer's shot. It's scored! Scott Niedermayer! A short-handed goal!
Scott Niedermayer exploded from the other end. You want to see some rocket-assisted skates? Only Scott Niedermayer could have made this happen because of his incredible skating speed.
There was joy in Devils Nation, but it was short-lived.
Madonna moves it out, breaking through center, top speed. Mike Madonna, he has been the man in this playoffs for them. Cleared back far side.
Pass, shot, score! 19, tie game!
That's what Dallas had to do. They were sagging. You could tell the Devils had a whole bunch of energy going after the Niedermayer goal. Well, that is gone now, and the Dallas Stars have evened it.
Come on, look at this one now, boys, come on!
If Game 6 was going to be a shootout, the Devils had plenty of weapons.
Checked. Backhand, 3 of them, Devils, and the shot off the goalpost.
Oh my God, he didn't miss by much.
Tip back behind the net, shooting Madonna, big play! Mike Madonna with 2 chances and Martin Brodeur.
Elias takes off across center, cutting in, and it's off the goalpost.
The Surge didn't produce any more goals, but the battle carried on.
What a takedown by Ken Daniels.
Got a man off ice.
This is like Ali Frazier going at each other. This is really, I think, special to watch.
As the trench warfare raged into the night, the clock once again became a factor.
1-1 tie. A goal for New Jersey, and it could be the Stanley Cup.
Keep going, boys. Shoot the puck.
Through the middle, then is Holy coming up. Holy gets in there. Here's a chance, Nick Gino. Oh, he missed the side of the goal.
This has been the longest 2-game nail-biter I can recall in the Stanley Cup Finals.
This did go to overtime, but how early would it end?
Gets around the net. McKay centers it. Oh, Freeland on the open side and just missed ending this one.
A penalty to Arnott gave Dallas a rare overtime power play.
A terrific amount of tension in this building tonight.
Here we go again.
Starting the second overtime in the penalty box was hardly ideal, but once again, the penalty killers prevailed.
Cleared out by Brodeur on the high flip, right to Eddie Belfour.
Boy, does that help.
So, Arnott's out. They do not. Dallas does not convert on the power play in overtime.
The Devils were back at even strength, but they still faced an uphill climb.
New Jersey Devils have lost 7 consecutive playoff overtime games.
And the reigning champs continued to thwart New Jersey, but their clock was about to strike 12.
Now Stevens for New Jersey held it in at the left point. Flipped it right through the goal mouth area. Elias is going to chase it down out front to Arnott. He scores! Jason Arnott has scored! And the Devils have won the cup! And for the second time in 6 years, the New Jersey Devils are the Stanley Cup champions!
Well, they've overcome all kinds of adversity. Their team was sold. They changed coaches. They were down 3-1 to Philly, and they blew Game 5 when they could have won it at home. The greater the difficulty, the more the glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gained their reputation from storms and tempests.
The effort these guys put in, I'm just so proud of everybody. It was unbelievable. With all the turmoil the last 2 months of the season, this team really pulled together.
Winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy, Captain Scott Stevens.
Ask Pavel Bure, Matt Sundin, Mark Recchi, who they took.
You'll see the parade. The players doing something they've dreamt of. Ever since they were 2, 3, 4 years old as kids. Someday I'll do this. Someday I will hold the Stanley Cup high and kiss it.
Kiss it! Kiss it! There we go. All right, boys!
I saw him lying there, Patty and I knew we wanted to do it for him. And it's a shame that he's not here, but that goal is definitely for him. And we're going to party with him once he gets better.
I smell champagne, boys.
How sweet is that? There's nothing better than winning overtime and get your name on the cup because of it.
You've been waiting for this, Stanley! Hey! That boy Sergeant!
You're already done and fill her up. Chug.
We should note that your dad, Carlos, is in with us this morning. I understand you've been dogging him all morning.
Yeah, my mom's kind of mad at the outfit he chose to wear on the show.
Dr. Mack, I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a successful team for past 8 years in New Jersey, and I can honestly say those were the best 8 years of my life.
You've meant a lot to me. Obviously, you've been more than just an owner, but more like a father figure, someone that I've always looked up to.